Look, a deer.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
All my bones are dislocated, I just keep on wandering along.
Hello, race fans. Welcome to X Adventure here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. I don't know what was going on. What threw me off was the glitch in the video there at the end that shaved off like 2 extra seconds that I would have had to sit here and prepare my thoughts. Welcome into the broadcast booth. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the second time now that last Tuesday it did it. It did it again here tonight that the video is getting all glitchy. I haven't been using that video very long. It's not like we could have exercised the digital tape too long. Not sure what's going on there. Virus thoughts here in the chat. Slow motion fire. Ghibli giblets. And I have slow motion fire getting ready here for week number 2. The final season of the Forza Spec Racing Series in Forza Motorsport. Slow motion fire leading the bunch here. Getting them all set up in the lobby for what will be race 3 and then race 4 here tonight as part of week number 54 or season 54 in week number 2. And then they will make the journey to the new Forza Motorsport title there in, well, they'll at least all jump into it in October, helping to build up their garage of vehicles, their inventory of credits and such, and then we'll see when Season 55 gets underway. There's no telling at this point. DWM Frog saying, looking forward to another great night of racing. I am as well. I am indeed. In fact, thanks to those of you who are tuning in for the 3rd time in a row here since Sunday, who have tuned in since Sunday, 3rd stream in a row here. Thanks to the Labor Day weekend holiday, or holiday weekend, I should say. Here we go. The final of the trio of streams. Taking a look at the standings here, entering week number 2. We've got LS Subaru at the top with 100 points, 92 points apiece. There for LMP Reina and Enraged Barney, both picking up a 2nd and 3rd place finish in week number 1. CMD Slipstream at 86 points. Audrex at 72. 70 points there for Dino Dado. Fear the Fun at 68. 56 for Kuda 93. Celtic Warrior, Modern Weapon, 54, 52, respectively. And then you've got the other drivers, the other 6 drivers that participated there in week number 1 on the opposite side. All right. I keep talking about week number 1, not only here in the points, but well, let's take a look at the schedule. Where we've come from in week number 1 to where we are about to go. Road Atlanta, Bathurst, Mount Panorama were race number 1 and 2 of the season. Now we head into races 3 and 4. Dubai, full circuit in reverse. 4.51 mile circuit that is. 11 laps. Hockenheim Ring. 16 laps with a chance of precipitation. It is not guaranteed, but there is a chance. I am saying there's a chance that we may see a little bit of stormy weather here today, or maybe not. We'll see. 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on X Adventure, we'll head out to Prague, the full circuit and the Top Gear. You don't have to wipe your eyes or clear your glasses. Yes, that says the Top Gear full circuit. The figure 8, they're going to do it. They'll have the simulation damage for tire and vehicle wear. Well, actually, I think just for vehicle wear. We'll have to double check that. I'll have to double check that. But at least the simulation damage for making contact with the walls. Although there aren't that many walls at Top Gear Test Track. It's tire barriers and such, and then other vehicles in that figure 8. Well, you won't have to worry about going into pit lane. In fact, all the races they ever run there at Top Gear, there is no simulation damage put on because of the fact that there is not a pit lane. They don't want drivers to get stranded. And then 2 weeks from tonight, Sebring, 13 laps there, 12 laps around Rio de Janeiro, the full circuit in reverse. And then we close things out 3 weeks from tonight out at the Bernese Alps Club Circuit. Are you sensing a little bit of a theme here on the schedule? You should. These are tracks that are not going to be making an appearance in the new Forza Motorsport, at least not making an appearance right away. Who knows? Some of these may get added a little bit later on after the fact, but based on the track list for the new Forza Motorsport title, some of these are going to the wayside at launch. That might be the little bit of a theme that you're sensing there. All right, Slow Motion Fire letting me know that we are ready to go. Just 9 drivers, surprisingly. We had 16 there for the start of the season, and we are down to 9 tonight. Hopefully we will see a few more join on in. A little quieter, I guess. The predictor has concluded. We've got a couple of votes. Looks like 3 different votes. Folks casting their best guess in terms of where where LS Subaru will qualify here for race number 3 of Season 54. Through the tunnel they go. The full circuit in reverse. Getting a little bit quiet there. Then we hear the revs of the motor. Coming out of the tunnel is LS Subaru. Through the sand dunes. Very interesting. The Dubai circuit unless I am wrong, made its debut in Forza Motorsport 7. And now it is apparently going away. I might be wrong in that. This might be a Forza Motorsport 6. Let's see. Let me talk this through. In Forza Motorsport 5, that was the debut of the Bernese Alps, was it? I'm trying to remember all these fictional tracks. Forza Motorsport 6 was the debut of Prague. Or do I have those backwards? Oi, it's Ender. What's going on there? Oi, it's Ender. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in. Prague was Forza Motorsport 5. So then that means, Bernese Alps was 6 then? Was it really? And then Dubai, Forza Motorsport 7, Rio was 6. Okay, we've had Bernese Alps longer than I remember. Which, all the more reason for it to go away. I am not a fan of the Bernese Alps. All right, across the line coming up here after LS Subaru makes the run down this, I guess, I'm going to call it the back straightaway portion since we are in the full circuit in reverse. And then as you can see there on the track map in the bottom left corner, LS Subaru will lead them through this very elongated left-hander back toward the start-finish line. And we'll clock in a 2:43.7 on the standing start. LS Subaru currently on pole. Let's go to Slow Motion Fire, currently showing as having the 3rd quickest time. Now the 4th. CMV Slipstream looks to have the 2nd. Alps is fun to hot lap. Agree to disagree. Slow Motion Fire, I think making contact with the wall there. That's going to invalidate this first flying lap for the ringleader of the Forza Spec Racing Series. You see CMB Slipstream ghosted there. Again, the beauty of virtual motorsports is we have this ability to get every single vehicle out on the track at once for qualifying. We don't have to do them onesie. Well, I guess it's not onesie twosie. It would just be one at a time. The mighty Cod is here. Oh, I love the the rave Civic. The Civic is raving. The mighty Cod rooting on Enraged. No, pardon me. SGR Chaos Fox. Is Chaos Fox out here? Let's go to Chaos Fox. Currently with the third quickest time now after Soul Motion Fire relinquished that. Following the first qualifying lap. There's the helicopter in the background doing absolutely no work for us. We get no camera views from the helicopter. What a bummer. Up through the hotel section here, the resort section of the Dubai full circuit. Of all the tracks, of all the fictional tracks that have been the kind of like the hero track with each title, and I would say that only started with Forza Motorsport 5. It seems like with Forza Motorsport 5, 6, and 7, they debuted those titles using those tracks. That's why I use that term, hero tracks. Prague is my favorite. I really do enjoy Prague. I kind of wish Prague had a little bit of weather just to mix it up. I don't think it does. Dubai, I wouldn't say it's my least favorite. Definitely not a fan of the Bernese Alps, although I guess I can't classify that as the hero track. Dubai, worst track because no helicopter. Exactly. That's, yes. As the spectator, as the resident spectator in Forza Motorsport, in the Forza Motorsport community, I can tell you, no helicopter cam, worst track. All right. Right now, LS Subaru on pole, followed by Slipstream in second, Chaos Fox, Fear the Fun, Enraged Barney, Odd Drex, Slow Motion Fire, Kuda, and Patches Riley. Well, I really love the scenery of Prague. I love just screaming down the river walk there at Prague, and they've got kind of the misty, foggy effect happening. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go to Slipstream again right now with the second quickest time, at least at the moment. They are on their third and final qualifying lap, the second flying. Silver Althea. I hope I got that correct. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast. Rooting on Chaos Fox. Good to have Chaos Fox back here in the Forza Spec Racing Series after taking a little bit of a break. What's going on there, Trotting Boots? Barney didn't tell me it had started. Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, fortunately, you're not missing any racing per se. This would be the qualifying session for our first race this evening. SGR Chaos Fox currently in third. Let's go to Fear the Fun. Oh, I don't know, though. Slipstream's got like the donut Crown Vic. Here comes Fear the Fun. A little bit of tire smoke hitting the right-hander. Got like kind of a, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the livery is that Fear the Fun is sporting. I'm doing well tonight, Trotton. How are you doing? I'm doing quite well. I'm ready to hit the midpoint of the week. We're already there for those of us who were fortunate enough to have yesterday off. Fear the Fun. Barreling through the tire wall. That will invalidate this third qualifying lap. There goes Enraged Barney. Out of the downhill portion here at Dubai. Now onto the the chicane section here down the back straightaway. And perhaps Enraged Barney already with an invalidated lap just says, you know what? I'm going to give you a little bit of a smoke show here. Line them up. And across the line, we'll take a look here at the final times to try to make sense of where everybody qualifies. No thanks to the menu here in Forza Motorsport 7. Pay no mind to the order, but rather that best lap column. 237.6 there for LS Subaru. Good enough for pole. Congratulations to those of you who wisely chose pole for that prediction. CMB Slipstream with a 238.9, a 244.6 there for Audrex. Chaos Fox with a 240.4. It's going to be good at least for now. Yeah, good enough for row number 2, P3 there for Chaos Fox. Slow Motion Fire, 248.4, a 243.7 there for Cuda93. Fear the Fun with a 244.4, a 244.3 for Patches Riley, and Enraged Barney with a 244.7. Everybody getting at least one clean qualifying lap, perhaps not the fast lap that they were hoping for, but a clean lap nonetheless. We'll see if we get any other drivers in here into the lobby before race number 3 here of season 54 gets going. Like I said, we had 16 a week ago, and we've whittled that down to 9, but it looks like we have since added 2 additional drivers. Midnight Rider, I believe. Let me try to verify who has joined. Midnight Rider being one of them. And Patches? Is it Patches who did not get... Nope, Patches qualified. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. We just had the one driver, Midnight Rider, able to get into the lobby with us here, and nobody else. Yeah, great time last week with the start to the season. If you're interested in the Forza Spec Racing Series, I'm telling you, a great group of folks to compete with. They're very accommodating to your driving styles. So if you need help with tuning, if you need some advice on how to race a particular track, if you'd like to have help with your livery, they are most certainly able to do that. They've got plenty of folks who've got those expertise. And most importantly, regardless of your driving skill, you are welcome to join the Forza Spec Racing Series crew and build up that experience over time. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern for not more than 2 hours. It's always under 2 hours. Come join in, have fun, find somebody on the track that you race closely with, compete closely with, and see if you could best them week after week. Reddit.com/r, well, wrong link. Let's try this one. Reddit.com/r/FM4 for all the details. Didn't even tell Slot LS either. Yeah, all Barney's fault that I'm late. The Barney fan club is here. LS Subaru with the subscription. It just keeps going. You guys are on it here over the last couple of weeks with the additional above the horizon support. Every bit. Almighty God with the follow. Thank you very much. Every bit of the cut that comes my way after Twitch takes their generous cut gets reinvested right back into the broadcast. Paid licenses for music, had, help upgrade hardware as needed, but trying to make the viewing experience as best as possible. That's the goal. That is the goal. Trotton Boot says, LS Subaru, splendid race as always, my friend. In the qualifying there. Again, worry not for those of you who might just be jumping in. You've not missed any of the actual head-to-head racing. We've just finished the qualifying session out here at the Dubai Full Circuit in Reverse as we get ready for the what will be 12 laps, I believe. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. That will answer the question. 11 laps here, 4.51 miles of the Dubai Full Circuit in Reverse, and then we will follow that up here. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not the weekend, not even a week from tonight, but here tonight, we will have Hockenheimring, two races each evening. The only exception, as you can see there, week number 5 with the mini endurance event. We'll head out to the Bernese Alps for that one. We will be here 1 week from tonight. It just won't be Hockenheimring. Rather, we'll have the Prague full circuit and Top Gear full circuit. And then week 4, Sebring. Oh, I'm actually very heartbroken that Sebring will not be in at launch. It's got to show up, right, chat? It's going to be there at some point in the new Forza Motorsport. They're just not going to have it at launch. Sure. I'm going to go with that. It's probably the one that I am, that and Daytona. Daytona's not going to be in there, huh? Daytona is going to get in there too. I have a feeling Daytona will get in there. Sebring will get in there. We already know that the Nürburgring Nordschleife is going to be in there come spring of next year, probably just before the 24-hour race. Yeah, Sebring, at least to my knowledge. I mean, unless... Well, now, see, Sebring is a track that has been in the Forza Motorsport franchise since day one, and they probably, had a limited number of tracks that they were like, some of these OG tracks of the Forza Motorsport series really need to be brushed up, and obviously Laguna Seca got that treatment. It's what I consider to be the hero track of the new Forza Motorsport title, because that's how they announced it, was with Laguna Seca. But yeah, no Sebring, Daytona. Ooh, it hurts. They'll show. Some are going to show up. No Bathurst yet either. Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. The drivers are out on the grid here at the Dubai full circuit. We could barely make out the roof line there of LS Subaru's vehicle. At some point here, LS Subaru will pull off the line and everybody else is free to follow. Kick the tires, light the fires, and right off the bat, we've got the loading screen. That's always fun. I believe I saw maybe a DNF on there, but at this point, the drivers are still at speed as they come through the tunnel. The second left-hander here under the earth, and now LS Subaru leads them out back in through the dunes. They will go. It's going to be LS Subaru out in front, followed by Slipstream, Chaos Fox, Audrex, and Enraged Barney in 5th. Behind Enraged Barney, it's Slow Motion Fire, Cuda 93, Fear the Fun, Patches Riley, and Midnight Rider 6 through 10. Oh, and we've got a driver who appears to be completely immobile back there. It's going to be Cuda 93. And I'm guessing severe damage to that vehicle. That would be the only reason for such a slow pace. Yes, 100s pretty much all the way around. Let's go ahead and join the action back at the front of the pack. CMD Slipstream. Unfortunate there for Cuda 93. That is a long drive back toward pit lane. If Cuda can even make it there, the hill climb is going to be a lot. And just as quickly as they went up the hill, back down they'll go, but not before they have to hit all these switchbacks. A little left, a little right action as they make their way, fortunately, down this 3-lane fictional roadway. And already the field has spread itself out quite a bit as LS Subaru looks to have, I don't know, maybe a half a second, a quarter of a second here on CMD Slipstream. But now CMD Slipstream doesn't have to deal with traffic, and so we'll continue to watch here and see if they can't make up the difference and close on the back bumper of Subaru as they make this final left-hander back toward the start-finish line for the beginning of lap number 2. Yeah, I think the last track they announced, I'm not saying the last track in the list. I don't know. Maybe it is. But the track that Turn 10 Studios most recently announced, to my knowledge, is Homestead Raceway there in Miami. Relatively new track to the franchise. So you can count that one in. Let's go back to Audrex here in 4th position. Chasing down Chaos Fox. This might be our best battle out on the track if LS Subaru does LS Subaru things. And that is peels away from the crowd quickly. So we'll keep our eyes right here for a bit as Audrex in the Unter Crown Victoria. Not sure if that's a real... Is that a real thing, or is this some sort of fictional livery? Well, it's a very plain livery, that's for sure. As they go back through the hotel section. Confetti everywhere. I tell you, they keep shooting off the confetti cannon. Pretty soon the buildings, or not the buildings, the mountain. The mountain's going to be covered in it. Oh my gosh, you guys, let's see, Giblet says, I'd like to have a Dorito-shaped track with a big Dorito inflatable bouncy house in the center. Okay. And the Mighty Cod then in response says, would the pits have gamer fuel though? Down again, what I'm going to call the back straightaway before they come to what is quite a quick, high-paced bus stop section here. It's not at all like that out at Spa. Maybe even a bit quicker than the Daytona bus stop, but out of that they come into this left-hander once again and across the line. The adoring fans out on the side, doing what video game sprites do. They just cheer and cheer and cheer nonstop. Audrex here in 4th position. Chaos Fox now has expanded that lead a little bit. They're in 3rd position. As we look back behind Audrex, we've got Enraged Barney in 5th, Fear the Fun in 6th position, Slow Motion Fire in 7th, Patches Riley in 8th, Midnight Rider in 9th, and Kuda 93 did make it to pits, the pits, it looks like. But now looks to be a lap down. Let's go to Fear the Fun in 6th position. Trying to chase down Enraged Barney. Through a pretty tricky section here. I mean, it's not overly complicated, but it is a track that demands you carry speed. The problem being is that the track is surrounded by concrete barriers, so any mistake will be pretty unforgiving as they go through the cutout portion there. Cliffs on either side. Fear the Fun. Couldn't tell if that was the paint job on the wheels or if the brake discs were actually glowing up. I believe it might be the latter. They're getting these 498 horsepower Crown Victorias from 2010 up to speed rather nicely. 3,454 pounds this vehicle weighs after they've done all of their upgrades to spec. 482 foot-pounds of torque, bringing the vehicle in at A700 Performance Index. A700 here in Forza Motorsport 7. They've got race exhaust, race cams and valves, race twin turbo, street flywheel, race brakes, race springs and dampers, race roll bars, race chassis reinforcement with the roll cage, race weight reduction, race clutch, race transmission, race driveline, race differential, race tires. Those front tires are 275/47 R17s up front, 275, 45, R17s at the rear. And they are wrapped around O2, or Oz, I'm sorry, not O2, but Oz F1 deep wheels. There you go. Oh, and by the way, not to forget mentioning, they have the all-wheel drive drivetrain swap thrown in for good measure, and as I mentioned earlier, the twin turbo aspiration upgrade. Let's go back to Chaos Fox here in third position, who was able to navigate around the lap traffic of CUDA 93 there rather nicely, no issues. Back to Audrex. Audrex, who now does have to find a way around CUDA, and quite possibly one of the more difficult parts of the track to do that here. On the uphill and the downhill, so Chaos Fox doing rather well, getting around lap traffic, putting a vehicle between you and your opponent. Very well done. All right, that's enough with the confetti. That was a pretty cool action shot there coming down the hill. Oh, we've got the loading screen, and that usually means one thing. It would appear, I believe that was Patches Riley. Patches Riley getting disconnected from the race. We'll confirm this with the bar up above. That is correct. Patches Riley, unfortunately, with the DNF here midway through lap number 4 of 11. That 12th lap you see in there, the upper left, is just a cooldown lap. Working over the curbing is Audrex. Vehicle painted in the same paint scheme to match that curbing. At least there at the chicane section. Ghibli Giblet saying, these Crown Vics are all over Manhattan and will pick you up and give you a wild ride. I don't know that they drive many of the Crown Vics anymore. The Crown Vic was put out of production a while ago, right? I want to say this might have been one of the last runs of it, was here around 2010. I don't know that there are many left. Look at Audrex scooting across the track, the vehicle just kind of sliding over the asphalt there. Coming out of the tunnel section, back up the hill again. Our race leader, LS Subaru, out there, and what would seem like a mile. It's not quite that long, the distance between first and second, but for Slipstream, it probably seems that way. Slipstream in second on their own race island right now, not competing for first and not defending against third, at least not yet. Chaos Fox, right where they qualified, in third position. Audrex in fourth, Enraged Barney in fifth. Fear the Fun in sixth position. Let's go to Fear the Fun. Enraged Barney there on the back bumper, closing in on Fear the Fun. On the inside there, as Fear the Fun goes closer up toward the barriers, and here they go, side by side, coming up to the chicane. And just like that, at least for now, Enraged Barney moves up to 5th. Oh, careful, yeah, that curbing on the inside is quite formidable. Enraged Barney getting a couple of wheels up into the air as a result. But just like that, Barney going from 6th now to 5th position. That might be Barney reclaiming 5th. I gotta think that over. A little bit of contact there with the wall. And as a result, I think that slowed up Fear the Fun and maybe kind of messed with Fear's braking a bit. Fear the Fun up into the wall as well. And boy, do we have some action here in the battle for 5th position. And there's a little bit of rubbing going. Rubbing is racing, right? Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dustin Moore here on X Adventure, coming at you with the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 54. We're in week number 2. We've got races 3 and 4 tonight. Out of a 9-race season, this is the final season that this league is operating here in Forza Motorsport 7. And then, well, we'll just have to see how long it takes before they get up and going in the new Forza Motorsport. That game dropping here at the beginning of October. Rubbin is Racing, Dustin 2023. Yeah, I certainly don't take credit for that quote. I might have stolen it. Little Days of Thunder, perhaps. We've got our camera hanging out right here with Fear the Fun in 6th position. Our best battle out on the track for the time being. Slow motion fire getting into camera view there. Maybe. Quite a ways back there. Midnight Rider in 8th position, Kuda 93. Again, Kuda had to limp all the way back to the pit lane there on lap number 1 after a rough start. There goes Fear the Fun up into the tire barrier, and it looks like Fear the Fun is going to have to go into pit lane for some repairs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the vehicle situation here for Audrex. I don't think there's a need for a stop in this race at all. So this would be that would be a completely unscheduled stop there by Fear the Fun, and likely the result of the contact that we saw in that back straightaway chicane area. I know, it's a little contradictory. The back straightaway chicane area. You know what I mean. Probably don't. Maybe you do. Audrex here keeping pace with Chaos Fox, not letting them out of their sight, and we'll see here. Actually, let's go take a look at Chaos Fox's vehicle. Is Chaos Fox perhaps suffering any damage? Because Chaos Fox had a little bit greater of a lead than what we see right now, or at least it seemed like they did a couple of laps back. No damage to the vehicle whatsoever, and just now approaching 50% tire degradation on all corners. Now, they're not going to really start to feel that lack of grip until around that 70-80 percentage. I don't know that we're... Well, we should get pretty close, actually. Now that I come to think about it, we're just a little more than past the halfway mark here in this 11-lap race. So the tire wear may start to get up there pretty quickly. All these lefts and rights, the The shuffling down the mountain, putting weight on those front tires, causing them to wear out quicker. Certainly much quicker than what we saw out at Road Atlanta or even out at Bathurst, which kind of surprising because those tracks, too, have quite the number of corners. High-speed corners at that. Oh, Chaos Fox! Bad timing to find themselves up into the wall. There goes Odd Trex, and I don't know, did Chaos Fox make the right decision here? They absolutely did. And I said 50% all the way around the car, not even close, only approaching 50% up front, which is what I really meant to say. But lucky for Chaos Fox, suffering no damage. Suffering no damage with that contact at the wall. I don't suppose I caught that on the replay. I think I pressed the button a little bit late. I always forget I have this replay feature. Let's go see. Yep, yeah, we're well past it. LS Subaru with 2 wins under his belt here, beginning of season 54. Looking for a third, out in front by a large margin. CMD Slipstream there in second position, followed by Odd Trex and Chaos Fox. That is the battle that we're watching now. It is the spotlight showdown here, lap number 8, and it's a good one too. A battle for third position. You may recall as we were looking at the standings before the start of tonight's racing action, LMP Reina, who was here in week number 1, and Enraged Barney, who we do have out on the track here tonight, both picked up a second and third place victory, or second and third place finish in week 1. And so for Odd Rex, and even certainly for Chaos Fox had a disconnect there in week number 1. For these two, it would be very, very beneficial to finish within the top 3. So we'll see which of the two is able to do that. Oh, and there goes Chaos Fox once again, head first into the concrete barrier and able to come out of it without any damage to the vehicle. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how, but the Calisonic 2010 Crown Victoria marches on here for the beginning of lap number 9. I don't know. I mean, I think Chaos Fox may have been saved by all the tires. All the rubber that is smushed up against that barrier there. And it's just kind of giving it a glancing blow. Trot Boots in the chat says, Chaos Fox is successfully raising my heart rate. And of course, I totally forgot to click the replay button again. I just need to tape my finger to the button, and anytime there's something worth capturing, just click down. Sorry, chat. I will do better. This is my apology video right here. This is the worst, well, knock on wood, this is the worst thing that I have to ever apologize for, is not using features properly. The streaming features. Silver says, Chaos Fox, the unstoppable force against the immovable object. Back behind Chaos Fox, it's Enraged Barney in 5th, Slow Motion Fire in 6th position. Fear the Fun has, of course, come back out on the track after that pit stop, is in 7th, and has a lot of work cut out for him here over the next 2.5 laps to try to make up any ground. What's going on there, Paula Brady? Chaos Fox trying to catch back up to Audrex. Now, Audrex is a tough one. Let's see. Chaos Fox a lot more composed this time through. No crazy wall encounters there across the line, beginning of lap number 10. Through the tunnel here for the second to last time tonight, and quite possibly, if we never see this track again, folks, in Forza Motorsport, then like all the tracks here in Season 54, then we wave them our fondest wave of goodbye. Oh, Chaos Fox struggling here on the approach to the uphill section. Quite attracted to the concrete barriers, it would seem. Yeah, Subaru is doing the Subaru thing right now. I'm not talking about the brand. I'm talking the driver. I love Subaru. If the Forza Racing Championship returns, should it return, and if LS Subaru gets a shot, everybody just look out. Oh, Trodden. I've been single for a good while, and I get it. Concrete barriers just have that, yeah, what do you call it? The je ne sais quoi? That appeal? They just understand you. Actually, you understand them. Concrete barriers don't take direction very well. They give direction. If you think you're going to go beyond them, over them, around them, you better make sure it has nothing to do with trying to go through them. All right, here we go. We're all just watching. We're all just on the edge of our seat here as Chaos Fox comes through the final set of corners before the left-hander. And now, with our race leader, LS Subaru, Slipstream, and now Audrex and Chaos Fox across the line. The white flag has dropped here at the Dubai Full Circuit in reverse. Forza Motorsport 7. Race number 3 here of Season 54, and unfortunately, Chaos Fox just couldn't keep the vehicle composed enough to be in that battle with Audrex all the way to the checkered flag for 3rd position, and at least for now, looks to be settling for 4th. Let's go up to our race leader. A little bit of camera time for the race leader. How about it? Show a little love here. LS Subaru back up the hill. And more confetti because, you know, why not? At least they clean it up between laps, you know? Just doesn't accumulate all over the track. They go out there, they sweep it up. Let everybody drive back through. Well done by CMD Slipstream. Entered week number 2 with 86 points on the board, P4 overall. This is going to bode well for Slipstream. So I saw someone mention it earlier, and I have to wonder, would that much confetti make it significantly more slippery? I think if it was happening in the real world, the passing of the cars would blow it, you know, off into a corner somewhere. So it probably would have a fairly negligible effect, particularly once you factor in, you know, these vehicles, the weight of them, and rolling over those thin strips of paper, the paper would barely provide any sort of counter effect with the size of the wheel, the grip of the wheel, the heat of the wheel. The paper would probably just be... It would do... You wouldn't notice a thing. Just have no impact. I think. I don't know. I'm not a... There are two things in this world I am not. I'm not a physicist, and I am not a race car driver. So I couldn't tell you with any guarantees. I'm sure the drivers would prefer it not be out there. All right, LS Subaru with back-to-back-to-back wins here in Season 54, out in front of Slipstream, who, try as they might, was unable to make the pass and will finish in second position, followed by Odd Trex. That's not correct. Is it correct? I guess it is. It is. Yeah, it absolutely is, because Audrex and Chaos Fox were battling for third. I knew that. I knew that, chat. And then we had Enraged Barney in fifth position, followed by Slow Motion Fire, followed by Fear the Fun, who, as we saw there, running in sixth position, did make contact with the wall and did have to go into pit lane early. Midnight Rider and Kuda93 finishing 8th and 9th. Unfortunately, our one DNF here in race number 3 of Season 54, Patches Riley. We'll see if we can't get all drivers back out on the track here for race number 4. Taking us very, very close to the midpoint here of Season 54. Going to have a little bit of an ad break. For those of you who have been fortunate enough to pick up a subscription, either from yourself, you got it yourself, or it was gifted to you, because, man, oh man, have there been a plethora of gifted subs here over the last couple of months. Well, congratulations. You see no ads whatsoever here on X Adventure, and you will not see an ad now. For those of you who are watching the channel as a follower or just taking a peek here on Twitch TV, yes, you are going to see some ads. I assure you, you will not miss any of the action. The reason I do this is, one, so I could take a little bit of a break and catch my breath. Two, so that the drivers at this point, they can have a little bit of a break as the organizers take note of where everybody finished and get ready for qualifying, set up the lobby for the next qualifying session. So there's nothing missed. But then third and most importantly is, by running these ads, it allows anybody else who joins the stream here over the next few minutes to avoid those pesky pre-roll ads and just get right into the action. So I do appreciate it if you hang tight and sit through the ads. I don't know how entertaining they are, but yeah, maybe it's a good time to go grab a snack, have a bio break, whatever the case may be. We'll be right back on the other side. We'll talk to a few of our drivers here in the driver's spotlight and get ready for our 4th race of the season out at Hockenheim Ring with a percent chance of rain. Yeah. All right, y'all. Appreciate you tuning in. You're watching Forza Spec Racing Series, Season 54. I'm Dustin Moore, X-Adventure. I'll be right back. And welcome back to X-Adventure here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. You're in the broadcast booth, otherwise known as my loft at home. Appreciate you tuning in. It seems like a lot of you who have picked up a sub here over the last couple of weeks have figured out the time-honored tradition here at intermission during the Forza Spec Racing Series broadcast that we make the emotes dance in the chat. So for everybody else, the spam is only temporary. And then once we get out of the commercial break, we've all inhaled, we've come to our senses, and we're ready to rock and roll here for the second race of the evening. And, well, first we'll have the qualifying. But even before all that, we turn to the driver spotlight where I have the opportunity to speak with a few of our drivers and who we have in there right now. Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun, you and SGR Chaos Fox had some sort of an affinity for that wall through the chicane there on the back stretch of the Dubai Full Circuit in reverse just before the start-finish line. For you, it resulted in an immediate need to go into pit lane. You did. You came back out, 7th position, and never were able to pick up position any spots higher than that for the remainder of the race. What happened to you there?
No, that wasn't the problem. The problem was I was behind Barney, and we were going through the fast left-hander up until the kind of roundabout section.
Okay.
And Barney grabbed the wall, got real slow, and I couldn't move out of the way, and I rear-ended Barney, and that's how Barney had damage. But he had all the damage to the rear, I had all the damage to the front, and when a car's pulling, you don't want to drive it no longer than you have to. So I had to pit, and he did.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Uh, most certainly could have happened anywhere. And maybe I just didn't see where all that extra fun happened there, the contact that you speak of. But finishing in seventh out here at the Dubai Mountain Circuit, we get ready for Hockenheimring. So you're going from this fictional track that's got this elevation change to now a real-world circuit. Very famous for its Deutsch touring car, motorsport program that happens there in Germany, and it's a very flat, level track. So I guess you can look at Dubai the Dubai Mountain Circuit in your rearview mirror and perhaps be excited about Hockenheimring. I don't know. What do you think?
I like Hockenheim. I mean, I also like Dubai, but I like when people don't get slow in front of me in Dubai and cause it big issues and whatnot. But I don't know. I mean, I think I'll do better here for sure. I'm not positive. I'm not sure. It seems like everybody else found pace this week and I didn't. But might also be that I've been up for 9 o'clock. So I've been up for 19 hours. 19, yeah. There we go.
What do you have like bucket list challenges that you present yourself that have you doing these odd sleeping habits, or is this something that obviously you would rather not have, but it's just the way that things happen?
My internal clock is broken fundamentally, and it just doesn't work anymore. So like, I went to bed at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I woke up at like midnight 1 yesterday, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna be up now. And then I was like, well, I've got a race tonight, so I was like, I could take like an hour nap at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then I'm gonna end up probably wanting to sleep, and then I'm gonna not show up. And I was like, I don't want to I don't want to not show up. So I was like, you know what? I'll just lay in bed for like an hour, take my contacts out, let my eyes rehydrate, and then come back here. And now I'm here racing, and I'm tired.
Okay, fair enough. It could be the tiredness, or it could be you said that the other drivers maybe are finding a little extra speed in the Crown Vic here heading into week number 2, or we are in week number 2. So what about you and your relationship here with the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor? Is there something that from week 1 you could have done to improve here in week 2 in terms of your own pace, or were you pretty confident with what you had there coming out of week 1 and just kind of kept the setup the same and all that?
Well, that my setup was okay coming out of week 1, but I also I've not been practicing Forza at all. I've been playing Forza Horizon mostly, and as you know, those are two vastly different games.
Yep.
And while I could drive an F450 and make it fast around the corner, I could not make a Crown Vic fast around the corner if I'm not driving it. So
Yeah. Okay. Diversifying your racing experience and letting that have an influence on how well things go or don't go here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Well, as long as you're having fun, I think that's what's the most important, and that's what is one of the best things here about the Forza Spec Series. Is you just kind of can show up, team no practice, and just get out here and just wail away at the throttle. Of course, being mindful of the other drivers on the track and not ruin anybody else's race, but doing your own thing, running your own race, and seeing how well you can do.
fun,
All right, Fear.
We're having
Yeah.
fun. Fun.
Mandatory fun.
The fun will continue until I don't know.
Until morale vastly improves. Yes.
There we go. I lost it and you picked it up. Thank you.
You're suggesting. I mean, I'm glad that you're an ambassador of the Forza Spec Series, and that you're suggesting that you guys aren't having fun here.
I mean, we have a chief fun officer who hasn't been here in 3 years. We're very serious about our fun.
We haven't found him yet. We don't know what happened. The search has been out for a long time, and there's like a $10 bounty, right? Or excuse me, not a bounty, a reward. A reward.
Call it a bounty if you want.
All right, Fair. Well, hopefully things go better for you here out at Hockenheimring. Best of luck to you in qualifying.
Thanks, Dustin.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and pull in our 3-time racing victor here in season 54. Did it out in race number 1, race number 2, both at Road Atlanta and Bathurst, respectively, and now here in race number 3 at the Dubai full circuit in reverse. And now you get ready for Hockenheimring. Chance of precipitation. LS Subaru, how's it going in the Crown Vic?
Things are going well so
I'd
far,
say
as
so.
you can tell. Yeah, definitely could be worse.
Could be worse. There was, as is always the case, at the beginning of the race there, it looked like CMB Slipstream was going to be able to keep a pretty good pace, but then it seems like you just kind of, after a while, you're locked in and you're gone. You start disappearing. You're not even in view of anybody at that point. At what point in a race does that really kind of set in? Do you think, like, is there a lap 2 or a lap 3 scenario where you just are feeling like you're in your zone and nothing could steer you wrong?
I mean, it just kind of just happens whenever once I get used to the car and track, I guess. It just kind of becomes a thing where I just zone out, or like, yeah, just everything else just kind of like I don't know how to say it. It's just
Just becomes a
everything gets
blur, huh?
drowned out. Yeah, it just gets drowned out, and you just get really into it.
In the zone. You're just fixated on the track and you're just cruising, hot lapping essentially. At a certain point, you're just hot lapping. You did have to deal with a little bit of back marker stuff here out at the Dubai circuit with a couple of drivers going in the pit lane, but all in all, not too bad. Perhaps a little bit more of that here at Hockenheimring. Let's see. We've got a 2.84 mile circuit. It is the full circuit that y'all are running, so that does spread out the track quite a bit. But then the precipitation might become a thing. So, what might you all as drivers expect out of the Crown Vic should the skies open up and the rain start to fall?
I should expect a lot of fun. That's for starters. Yeah, this is it's gonna be an interesting race.
Yeah.
Because there's a pretty high chance that we might not even get any rain for this race.
Yeah.
Because it's only a 20% chance, and it's during the last leg of the race.
And if I'm not mistaken, the rain tires go on by default for the game, correct? So whether or not the raindrops start dropping, those rain slicks are already on the car.
Yeah, and they'll provide the exact same amount of grip as a standard slick. It's just a cosmetic change. So same
But
wear.
they will degrade quicker?
No,
Okay.
they wear at the same rate.
Okay.
But once you get into the wet, the tire wear rate drops like quite quickly as well.
Gotcha. I was just curious because we've seen in past races here in season 54, the tire degradation does seem to tick up there pretty quickly. And if rain tires had a higher degradation rate, then oh boy, you're right. It would be interesting, but should be fun either way. Best of luck to you in the qualifying session here, Subaru. Well done in race number 3, and we'll see how you do here, race 4 out at Hockenheimring.
Thanks.
All right, folks, there you go. Not only our 3-time race winner here in season 4, but now our 11-time champion. What LS Subaru does. If you think you could take on LS Subaru and try to steal a victory here, a victory there, perhaps even win the championship, certainly invite you to participate here. Forza Spec Racing Series, reddit.com/r/FM4. Go say hello, introduce yourself. Let it be known that going into the new Forza Motorsport title, you'd like to consider, participating, and then that way they can expect you. They will have a little bit of a grace period as they allow the drivers to, again, get into the new game, get their garage going, get the credit count up, and of course try to figure out what's going to go on with the build situation. We know the upgrade system is a little bit different than what we've been accustomed to in Forza Motorsport through Forza Motorsport 7, but the new one, a little bit different in terms of the ability to just go in and upgrade a vehicle to your liking. So more of that to come, or at least we'll see what that all entails as we make that transition, and then you two can be out here racing with the FM4 crew. Maybe at some point here in 2023, perhaps they'll hold off all the way until 2024. We just don't know at this point. Enraged Barney is going to be the first one to lead them out onto the track. We are now up to what looks to be 11 drivers. All right, so we've added a couple here since race number 1. Enraged Barney here on the far end of the course. Again, 2.84 miles here. The Hockenheim full circuit. Oh my gosh, look at that skybox. That's a gorgeous look there. We've got the sun peering through the clouds. Again, that chance of precipitation not likely to happen here during qualifying. Qualifying just is too quick. I really doubt that the clouds will form up and precipitate. Had a poll up there asking the question, or not a poll, but a predictor rather, asking the question of who you think is going to qualify in the top spot here for race number 4. 91% of the channel points are going toward LS Subaru, while 7 percentage points and 2% there for SGR Chaos Fox. The 7 being for Audrex. I totally forgot to mention that, but Audrex 7%, SGR Chaos Fox with 2% of that vote. Across the line comes Enraged Barney, clocking in at a 156.252. Going to be followed by Fear the Fun Patches Riley. And again, this is just the qualifying session, so this is just all of the vehicles together out there at once, trying to achieve their top time without invalidating their lap. Are you complimenting his car's wrap? I wonder who made that with no help whatsoever, says Trottin' Boots. Are we talking the Dinoco livery here of Patches? Is it Dinoco or is it Dinoco? I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually say it. LS Subaru with the quickest time. They're at the end of lap number 1, a 152.997. Let's go to Slipstream, who finished second out at the Dubai circuit and is now, at least for now, qualified for P2. It looks like we have added, I believe Modern Weapon was unable to participate there in the first race of the evening, now out on the track. And trying to ID the second driver, but I'm incorrect in that we had 10 drivers to start the first race tonight. And now we are up to 11. So we've gained Modern Weapon during the intermission. Back toward the start-finish line. Enraged Barney with a 152.9. Across the line, Slipstream. But LS Subaru with a 151.126 back into the pole position. Go to slow motion fire. Slow motion fire usually in a No Coast Brewing livery, opting for something different here. Season 54. Folks, I got a lot more content to come here in the month of September. That isn't just the Forza Spec Racing Series. If you're interested, then head on over to the twitch.tv/xadventure/schedule. That's where I have the details of everything that's at least at the moment, planned to go live. There are some TBDs on there, but that way you at least know when to expect the channel to be live, with whatever the content may be. You did see there during the intermission a couple of slides going across that were showing you what's in the foreseeable future. We'll review those here at the end of the broadcast, but do know that I got a Lego stream, the Lego Back to the Future DeLorean build coming up here on September 29th. September 15th, we're going to be jumping back into Flight Simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator, to fly around in the MV-22 Osprey. Had fun with that this past Friday. And there'll be some other stuff that I'll be checking out. A little bit of American Truck Simulator coming up here this coming Sunday. And some other things, some other tricks up my sleeve. All right, there we go. We're going to go take a look here at the qualifying times. Enraged Barney with a 152.5, a 152.7 there for Fear the Fun. Patches Riley with a 153.3, a 153.2 for Chaos Fox. Slow Motion Fire with a 153.3, a 153.0 for Odd Drex. Kudo with a 155, a 150 pole sitting time there for LS Subaru. Slipstream, a couple of seconds slower there, 152.7, and Midnight Rider a 158.4. An invalidated dirty lap there for Modern Weapon at 153.6. Congratulations again for those of you who chose wisely. LS Subaru going to be your top qualifier on pole here for race number 4, season 54. You flew in an Osprey and didn't die? Well, I flew in one virtually on Friday. And then for 4 years I flew in an Osprey. And no, I'm still living. I'm here. American Truck Simulator is so funny just as a game, says Trot and Boots. Yeah, that's why I like picking up Truck Sim. And we have a good time here playing that on stream. Get a chance to chat with you all, the viewers, and just kind of... shoot the stuff, you know, whether we talk about video games, motorsports, automobiles, whatever it is. Truck sim streams are usually a pretty fun time, and we get to explore virtually the states, even those that maybe you have no intention to ever go and visit. We go check them out. So a lot of fun. Again, we'll review what the upcoming streams are here toward the end of the broadcast. But right now, we're just getting ready for our second race of the evening out at Hockenheimring, where we've got the drivers queued up and just about ready to go. 16 laps, 2.84 miles, full circuit with a chance of precipitation. And as LS Subaru pointed out there during the interview, it's a very low precipitation, just 20%. So we'll see if that actually factors in to the equation here tonight. My thanks to you all, the viewers who are tuned in. We've had great viewership. We've had great subscription support, great engagement in the chat, or as I call it, the pit lane here on Tuesdays. Please do keep it up. It really makes these streams that much more enjoyable for me when I have an engaged and very excited and participatory chat. Makes the time go by way too quick. I have a whole heck of a lot of fun during these broadcasts, but when I get a chance to chat with you all, engage with you all there in the chat, the pit lane, it's like one moment it's lap number 1, the next moment it's lap 20. It's crazy. But why I bring this up is that there will not be a spectate feature, at least at launch, with the new Forza Motorsport title. So sadly, this will be my last stream commentating for the Forza Spec Racing Series for some, who knows how long amount of time. I'm not quite sure. So hopefully we will see a new broadcast feature of some sort, or spectate feature of some sort in the new title. in the not too distant future at that, so that I am able to jump back in and bring you all the racing action here of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Hopefully they don't get too many races, too many seasons going before I'm able to be back at it here. I didn't know I'd sound the... No, you're good. You're good. Thank you very much for the 100 bits there, Ghibli. Appreciate that. And, yeah, you are in the pit lane. You are in the pit lane there, Trotton. How about that? So many people want to drive big things and honk and be on American roads just to be the biggest, says Trotton Boots. Yeah, of course. We hop into American trucks. It's more so for me just to kind of... It really is a chance for me to just play a game, to load up the stream, play a game that doesn't require me to be like uber focused, you know? Racing streams, commentating streams, I'm having to be a little bit more, you know, biased toward the action that's happening here. Single player, like storyline, narrative type games. I'm really focused on those. But whenever I get a chance to load up Truck Sim, and it's just kind of like, you know, it's almost a set it and forget it type thing, you know? You put the cruise control on, and we hit the virtual highway, and we get to chit-chat. Yeah, sometimes we do miss the exits, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I love driving. Don't got to be focused. I can check out chat more often on my phone, maybe pop a cola. It's virtual trucking. And the only obligation I have is to myself, because I'm the owner, operator, and lead driver of More Trucking Company 2.0. Yeah, sometimes we miss the exits. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Sometimes we nearly miss the exit, and we cut across 3 lanes of traffic, and ta-da, we're in. All right, Slow Motion Fire, let me know that we are ready to rock and roll. Shame you can't get a tan on the one arm when doing trucks. Oh, man. I know, that feeling of, like, your one arm burning, like, on a road trip. You're like, gosh, I got to get that off the windowsill here, or the door panel, or whatever it's called, the thing that's next to you in the car there. You got to get off there. That way you don't burn your darn arm right off. All right, Chad, here we go. You guys are a hoot. You guys are some fun. All right, all lined up on the grid here at Hockenheimring. Now look at that. Look at that fleet of Crown Vics. You won't find that in New York City. No, you won't. New York City? Kick the tires, light the fires. Race number 4 here of season 54. Hockenheimring. Crown Victoria. LS Subaru is going to lead them into the Sud curve. They're going to go side by side. Fear the Fun engaged Barney. Wow, what a radical move there by Fear the Fun very early on this race, pushing the issue and moving up to P2. So it's going to be Fear in 2nd, Enraged Barney there in 3rd, Slipstream in 4th, Audrex in 5th, Chaos Fox currently sitting in 6th position, followed by Patches, Slow Motion Fire, Modern Weapon, and Kuda. You round out the top 10, and they are followed by Midnight Rider back there in 11th position. Down this back straightaway, kind of dog-legged. It's got a little bit of an angle to it there. That back straightaway does. And now into the hairpin. We see some locking up of the brakes. There goes Enraged Barney. It looks like full bore, all 498 horsepower, 482 foot-pounds of torque to all 4 wheels going into that hairpin, as the tires were smoking like crazy, and that just allows the likes of LS Subaru to get going and get going fast away from the crowd. Coming up to the Xbox One signage. Oh my gosh, the Xbox One. That tells you just how long this game's been around, huh? Holy smokes. I can remember when I got my day one Xbox One 2 generations ago. Here comes LS Subaru now out of the Mercedes arena. Up toward the Nord curve. And going to go across the line out in front. The end of lap number 1. Let's go to Enraged Barney here in 3rd. Single file formation, no side-by-side action here. Beginning of lap number 2, back into the right-hander. There goes Fear the Fun. Perhaps the curbing unsettling the car. Slides it out, able to regain the composure, get back out in front of Enraged Barney before giving up position. But now here comes Enraged Barney, looking to the inside on the rear right quarter panel there at the Crown Vic of Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun, unfazed by it, stays out in second. Here comes that Pegasus liveried car. Gonna look to the inside a little bit and then back onto the rear bumper. We'll see if they go side by side as they come up toward the hairpin, followed by Slipstream and Audrex. So they got to be careful here. Fear the Fun, Enraged Barney can't be duking it out for too much longer. Otherwise, they're going to see 3 other sets of parking lights in their rearview mirror. And 3 wide they go. Audrex on the low line. Slipstream on the outside. Enraged Barney there in the middle. It's going to be Enraged Barney and Slipstream who emerge in 4. And looks like maybe P3 there for Slipstream is Slipstream's able to edge it out, coming up to the right-hander. Then they really slow it down, trying not to lock up the brakes as they go by the grandstand. And just like that, at least for the moment, the time being, Enraged Barney is going to snag 3rd position, followed by Audrex. Slipstream now dropping back 2 positions. And they are back in the single file formation as they return to the Mercedes Arena. Beautiful sunrise? Sunset? I don't know. I don't live there. I don't know which way the track's facing. Either way, beautiful skybox overhead. We'll see if that chance of rain actually pans out. Into the right-hander, the penultimate, then the final right-hander, back toward the start-finish line. You see the pit lane entry there on the right-hand side. All of our drivers hoping to avoid that, unlike what we saw there at Dubai, and back across the line they go. Enraged Barney leading the pack on through, trying to keep pace with Fear the Fun, who's out there in second. I talked to Fear the Fun in the driver's spotlight. He said, oh yeah, I'm going to try to make it up here. Sure, Dubai race, not great. We'll see what we can do out here. Enraged Barney now into the first, actually the second right-hander out here at the Hockenheim Ring full circuit. All 2.84 miles of track. One of, when this was introduced, oh gosh, I don't know which title it was, which Forza Motorsport it was, but when it was introduced, I was quite pleased with it. I don't normally enjoy these tracks that are very flat, very little undulation to the track whatsoever. I do like to get the car moving uphill, downhill every so often. Heck, my favorite track is Laguna Seca, so you see where I'm coming from there. But Hockenheim was a pretty pleasant surprise for me. I'm sure I've raced it on other games before, but I just wasn't familiar with it as much as I've gained in my experience playing Forza Motorsport. And here we are, waving it goodbye as we head into what is finally, after 6 years, the sunset, the proverbial sunset here for Forza Motorsport 7. Whew. Hot dog, that's taking a long time. Fear the Fun there, second position, back behind LS Subaru by about half a second at this point. Enraged Barney, Audrex, Slipstream. There's Patches Riley. Look at Patches trying to make up for the DNF there in race number 3 just a bit ago. Chaos Fox not having such a great race, currently running in 7th position, followed by Cuda 93, Slow Motion Fire, and Modern Weapon. And Midnight Rider is still going to be the caboose here on the 11-car train at the back of the pack. Back across the line, here they go for lap number 4 of 16. And it looks like maybe we've got our top 7 going into somewhat of a duo configuration here. Fear the Fun, Enraged Barney, second and third, followed by Audrex and Slipstream in 4th and 5th, and then you got Patches and Chaos Fox. These two, well, I was going to say, they're in pairs, but now even that has starting to accordion in the outward position. You know how the accordion works? It expands, then it contracts. Well, all of our cars a little bit separated there. Then you get up to the hairpin, and they've contracted a bit. Back underneath the Xbox One signage there, Enraged Barney trying to establish a 3-car lead here over Audrex in 4th position. Enraged Barney locking them up. It looks like maybe Enraged Barney was out there on the grass and couldn't get those front wheels to rotate the car over, and as a result, Enraged Barney now into 4th position. Let's go back to the X-Adventure replay. I believe back on lap number 2 when we had them 3 wide. Through the hairpin, or did I not catch it? We'll see. Nope. I don't even know. How do I have the restart? How does that work? Slot LS and Trot Boots. No! Enraged! Chaos Fox, though, coming into the picture here. Going to run wide. Well wide there at the Sud curve. It is, right? Or is that the North curve? I don't know. Well, chat, pretend. Let's all pretend with me that I know what the North curve is and the South curve. I usually have better notes. I usually do. Not tonight. Clouds still looking relatively scattered. Here's your lap 5 weather update from the X-Adventure Studios. Dustin Moore. Yeah, it's looking a little bit cloudy. We've got some clouds that seem to be rolling in from what I believe is the Sud curve. Is the lap position cardinally? I don't think it is. I actually don't think that they have them lined up cardinally. I don't. I think they went for whatever looks more visually appealing in terms of layout. I think. All right, let's go back up to 3rd. Well, hold on, chat. Let's go to Enraged Barney here in 4th position. Sandwiched between Audrex in 3rd, Slipstream in 4th. Here goes Slipstream. It looked like it was going to have a peak on the inside there at the beginning of the S-curves. Did not do it. Instead, just going to stay right there back behind Enraged Barney and back across the front straightaway. Past pit lane and across the line, beginning of lap number 6. Well, this was an exciting start to the race, huh? Let's see how this continues on here over the next, I don't know, 10.5 laps at this point. 16 laps here tonight. Let's go ahead and ride on board with Enraged Barney. Kicking up a little bit of tire smoke. There is Enraged Barney. Let's go up to Fear the Fun now, who is being challenged for 2nd position. Fear the Fun darted out there quickly at the start of the race, and now has Audrex dreaming of a P2 spot here. Slipstream, who finished in 2nd position, back there in 5th, has their work cut out for them. We'll see if they make it interesting here toward the end of the race. Maybe at this point. Whoa, there goes Audrex. You see those brake discs glowing. It looked like Audrex was going to come right in and not quite T-bone Fear the Fun, but really maybe put the nose end of that front of the Crown Vic there onto the rear passenger door. at turn number 2. Did not happen. Was able to keep the yellow, gold, mustard-colored Crown Vic, whatever you want to call it, off of Fear the Fun's paint job. As always, folks, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please click the follow button. It is really the very most I ask of the viewers. It just, you know, it lets me know that you're having a good time here. And anytime that I make that possible, that's a good feeling, especially on a Tuesday, right? It's a Tuesday. There's not much more we can say about that. What I can say is it looks like the weather system is about to... It looks like it might be getting ready to rain a little bit. It's going to summon the rain, possibly. Yeah, so follow the channel if you're not already. Huge shout out to the large contingent of you who are subscribers to the channel and enjoying that ad-free viewing. Every bit of support for the broadcast certainly is appreciated. And I'm not quite sure. Mighty Cod, you might have done this a little bit too early in the broadcast. So, for that reason, I'm going to run this back. There you go. Get the proper acknowledgement there at the bottom of the screen. See, chat, it's that easy. We don't make too big of a deal of it. Just build it right into the overlay and a little air wrench, and whoop, there it is. Trot Boots saying that Barney taking 5th position. No, Barney is, well, they're in a three-way battle once again. Enraged Barney in 4th. Here comes Chaos Fox on the low side here at the hairpin. Able to find a way around Slipstream, and like that now, it goes Enraged Barney, Chaos Fox, Slipstream, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, Enraged Barney, where a couple of laps ago ran that corner wide. It looked like maybe there was going to be the same there. Here comes SGR Chaos Fox side by side. Underneath the signage they go. Into the right-hander. Let's see if anybody ends up in the kitty litter. Hopefully not, but anytime you got these cars battling closely for position here at that part of the track, somebody sometimes ends up running wide. Fortunately, it looked like maybe Slipstream caught a little bit of the sand, a little bit of the gravel trap, but was able to escape without much harm. And folks, don't look away, because they're in 7th position. We've got yet another contender. It's going to be Patches Riley on the redemption run here out at Hockenheimring, following again the DNF there at Dubai one race ago. Let's quickly go back to 2nd position, where Audrex has made the move to 2nd spot around Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun now dropping to P3, and we'll see which direction will Fear the Fun travel. Will it be forward, buddying up here with Audrex, or is Fear the Fun going to be at risk of falling back to 4th, because there is that larger group there of 3.5. If you count the fact that Patches will eventually be in the throes of that what would be a 4-way battle for 3rd. Or excuse me, for 4th. Well, the sky's definitely darkened up, and there is a bit of a fog, a haze, a mist, whatever you want to call it. But not any actual raindroppage. There goes Slipstream. And Slipstream was out in front of Enraged Barney for 5th, but now drops back to 6th position. And I told you, I said, don't lose sight of Patches Riley. Patches Riley continuing to close in And as they get ready to come across the start-finish line here for lap number 10, it's going to be LS Subaru, our race leader, trying to go for 4 in a row here in Season 54. Be undefeated here through the much of the first half of the season. Audrex in second, just picked up that position from Fear the Fun about a half a lap ago. Chaos Fox in fourth, Enraged Barney, as we see here, in fifth position, followed by Slipstream and Patches Riley. Then you got to look a little bit further back to find in eighth position Kuda 93, Slow Motion Fire in ninth, Modern Weapon in 10th, and Midnight Rider in 11th. Everybody just running their own race. Drivers out here of varying levels of skill, varying levels of talent, varying levels of Forza Motorsport familiarity. The most important thing is that they're just sticking it out. They're running their race, trying to get back toward the start-finish line at the end of the race, get those checkered flags, and try to rack up as many points as they can here by the end of the season, race number 9, which here for Season 54, the farewell tour of these tracks that are not returning, or at least won't debut with the new Forza Motorsport title. We'll conclude things out at the Bernese Alps there for that 65 mini endurance race 3 weeks from tonight. Yeah, it's really fogging up now. The sunlight barely making its way through here. Enraged Barney looking a little bit more composed here, holding off Slipstream. But as a result, the more composed you look, that can be an indication that you're getting a little bit slower. Sometimes it just means that you're being very consistent, but in this case, as we witness, Enraged Barney falling off pace with Chaos Fox, who's now there in fourth and about to be on their own little race island, able to shed the approach of Enraged and Slipstream, but not yet quite caught up to Fear the Fun and Audrex in third and second. Let's see if that changes. Silver here in the chat, cheering on Chaos Fox. I think the Mighty Cod as well. Also, I wanted to run back because I think Subaru did it during the pregame session. LS Subaru with that subscription for 3 months in a row here earlier in the broadcast. Right up onto the back bumper is Enraged Barney. Slipstream now back up to fifth position. And now here they go, side by side, into the Mercedes arena section here out at Hockenheim Ring. Slipstream's going to have the advantage there on the low line, but look at this. Enraged Barney looked like they were going to try to attempt the switchback. The old switcheroo. Couldn't make it happen there. Continues to be on the inside. Wow, very nice run. There goes Enraged Barney, and they're side by side. Down the front stretch they come. Unfortunately for Enraged Barney, just not able to make it stick, or rather, probably thought it best to just go ahead and get on the back bumper here of Slipstream as they get ready to hit that first right-hander at turn number 1. Now here comes Enraged Barney, locking up the brakes a little bit. Gonna force the issue there with Slipstream. Closes the door, makes the pass, and, well, I say Enraged Barney's in fifth now. But of course, as we've seen here over the last couple of laps, Slipstream is going to be right there. Definitely not throwing in the white flag. Definitely not quitting. This battle could wage on here for another 4.5 laps. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Slipstream on the rear bumper of Enraged Barney through the hairpin. Patches Riley starting to drift a little bit further off into the fog. Back behind Slipstream there in 6th position. So where Patches had an attempt to take advantage of these drivers duking it out, right now is probably fighting off their own struggles with the Crown Vic and trying to get back into the mix here. And now here comes Slipstream to the inside into the right-hander. No, did not. He had it lined up, but opted not to go for it. Again, a very tricky part of the track to attempt that, especially with the sand trap on the outside. The last thing you want to do, ruin your race just trying to make one pass. Certainly the other thing you don't want to do is ruin the race of your fellow competitor, so live to race another lap is what's happening here. Enraged Barney now opening up about a 1.5, 2-car length lead here on Slipstream as they cross the line for the beginning of lap number 13. Let's go back to the X-Adventure replay, which, gosh darn it, I hope it works this time. And yes, it does. There on the left-hand side, as we get out of turn number 1 here, you'll see Enraged Barney make this move up to P5, where they currently reside in the live view off on the right. But look at this. Lined it up perfectly. Now did lock up the brakes there. But that was enough to secure the swap. And look at this. What's happening to Slipstream? Seems as if Enraged Barney now just kind of peeling away. Let's go up to Fear the Fun here in third. Fortunately for Fear the Fun, yeah, success. The replay. Chad, I managed to navigate the replay correctly this time. Woohoo! All right, yeah, up front we've got LS Subaru, of course, up in first. Audrex in second. Fear the Fun is not relenting. Maybe flattening off that corner there a little bit, driving into the grass with the, I'm guessing, at least 3 tires. Fear the Fun trying to find every opportunity to close that gap here with Audrex. Chaos Fox, though, starting to get closer and closer here. Any mistake that Fear the Fun... Oh, and just as I say that, there goes Chaos Fox making a mistake and cannot recover. Just stays out on the grass. The racing tires here underneath the 498 horsepower Crown Victoria did not want to allow that 3,000-pound car to get back out onto the circuit, and as a result, Chaos Fox has drifted further back, and all of a sudden, it is, once again, a 3-way battle for fourth. Chaos Fox, Enraged Barney, and Slipstream not too far behind. The Chaos Fox in fourth. Chad, I don't want y'all to get too excited, but right now, we're looking at what might possibly... I was talking about the weather and how that might form up to create a little bit of a rainstorm here in race number 4. Well, we've got a storm of a different kind of brewing here. Second, Audrex, Fear the Fun, Chaos Fox, Enraged Barney, Slipstream. That is 5 cars, all within about, oh, I don't know, from the front to the back, not more than 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds apart. We are about to see ourselves, or very well could see ourselves, a 5-way battle for second in the last few laps here, although Audrex now apparently did the whole Fast and Furious, shifted into a different gear, and is regained ground on the pack here. But as you can see, the pack of 5 from 2nd to 6th is not all that, greatly separated. Not as much as we would normally see. We usually have a large gathering, a gaggle, as I sometimes call it, of the mid-pack crew. Well, this is all the way up here, battling for top 3 positions, and even top 5. A gaggle, yes. There they go, running it wide off the curbing, as they've been permitted to do here. You have a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of leeway in the Forza Spec Racing Series. They consider themselves a beer league, so, there is a little bit of leniency. Obviously, if you're corner cutting for the purpose of try to gain an unfair advantage, that's one thing, but running the corner wide, very similar to how maybe certain racing series permit drivers to extend track limits. Well, that's what we've got here in the Forza Spec series to a degree. All right, through the hairpin they go. Single file formation. It is the parade of police interceptors here. Lap number 15. Next time by the flag stand, folks, will be the white flag. We are only racing to the end of lap 16. Is that curve better to run wide even though the track isn't as wide as they're going? I think the gain is pretty negligible. The advantage there is of running a bit wide through that corner is you are able to keep a bit of momentum, so that's where it can be an advantage. The thing is that that track area does run out and it becomes a section of grass, and so if you stay out onto that runoff area too long, then you risk yourself being out on the slippery stuff. All right, out of that final corner and across the line, the final lap here for race number 4, season 54. And it's been a good one. Oh, I hope we keep up. Oh my gosh, well, that's a whole new level of extended track limits right there. Enraged Barney well wide, and now what does that do with our order back there? Let's see. I'm going to keep it right here as Chaos Fox is inching closer to Fear the Fun. Going to have to do a bit more than just inch toward Fear the Fun. Half a lap remaining here. 2.84 mile circuit of Hockenheim Ring, a track that we will not see at the launch of Forza Motorsports, so you better enjoy it now. As the Crown Vics get around, they're on the back straightaway heading toward the hairpin. The horseshoe. Horseshoe, hairpin. I like them both. Both applicable. Here they go. They come out of that. It's going to be Audrex up there in second, and I say comfortably. Of course, Audrex has got to keep the pace. He can't just let up. But Audrex in a really good spot here. The driver who's most at risk is in P3. That's Fear the Fun. And with about 6 corners to go, Fear the Fun is going to have to really keep it tidy out onto the green painted tarmac there on the outside of the right-hander underneath the Xbox signage for the final time. Able to avoid the dirt. Nobody's making sandcastles. Chaos Fox probably pushing that Crown Vic as close to the limits as is possible here. And now through that left-hander, the wide sweeping left-hander, a little bit of camber there to work with. They go into the right-hander, followed by the last right-hander. Is anybody going to be able to make a move? It doesn't seem that way. Everybody's cleaned it up here on the final lap. Across the line, LS Subaru is your race leader. Winner, followed by Audrex, followed by Fear the Fun, Chaos Fox, Enraged Barney, Slipstream, Patches Riley. And now let's quickly go. Well, it doesn't look like we got any battles here for 7th, 8th, or 9th. It's going to be Patches Riley, Cuda 93, Slow Motion Fire, grabbing 10th is going to be Modern Weapon, and Midnight Rider P11. Whew! Sometimes they're like that, chat. Sometimes they're like that, where it is just one interesting lap after the other. Good times. Good times. I told you. I told you they go so quickly. All right, I'm going to take note of where all of our drivers finished here. We will take another break. So, yes, those of you who would like to make your emotes do the dancing thing, we'll play some music. You can do that. The dance floor is about to be opened. Everybody report to the dance floor. Patches, Modern, and Midnight. All right. Okay, folks. Well, like I say, every single time, you're not going to miss a thing. When we come back, we'll talk to drivers in the driver's spotlight. We'll preview week number 3, the official midpoint of the Forza Spec Racing Series. In 5 weeks of racing, 9 races in total, we get to race number 5 and race number 6. there in week number 3. So I'll tell you what those tracks are all the way through the remainder of the schedule. I'll share a little bit more about the broadcast that you see flashing across your screen. And yeah, like I said, we'll talk to drivers and get their thoughts on how the racing went out here at Hockenheim Ring. I'm Dustin Moore, X-Adventure, here live on Twitch TV. Thank you so much for being here. Hang tight. I'll be right back. Well done, chat. Well done. You all have my admiration. You got the emotes dancing like no other night here on the channel. Sure, we've had higher turnout in terms of viewership, but never so many emotes occupying the screen on this broadcast than what we had here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, I don't know how else to say it apart from like the last few weeks has been something. It's been awesome. Well done, party people. Yeah, exactly, Trotton. All right. Well, speaking of party people, those who were at the sticks here of the vehicles that we saw going round around out at Dubai and then Hockenheim Ring are, well, at least a few of them are going to join me here in the driver's spotlight. The first one to show up, Blame Borny, as it's known in the as they're known in the Discord here for FM4. You all know them on the broadcast or in the race as Enraged Barney. Barney finishing in 5th there. You and Slipstream for, I mean, I know you guys were in close proximity, but there were at least 2 laps where you two were exchanging position pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, really, I shouldn't have been back down in 5th. I think a couple mistakes early on kind of caused me to fall down in the pack a little bit, and then other people pushing me into other cars and quote unquote understeering in the first corner kind of pushed me back even farther. But yeah, the race with Slip wasn't too bad. It was a fun time.
Um, I hate to interrupt this interview, but we have we've got Trot and Boots here with the Peon Barney hashtag. I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed now.
I mean, I don't understand where this came from. I wasn't in chat last week because Twitch was broken for me, so I
Yeah.
missed all this
All of this
X
craziness.
Venture lore.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's not written into the history book, so I'm not sure we continue that one. But Trot and Boots has revived it at least for a moment. Uh, no, wait, okay. Maybe I understand where all this animosity is coming from in the chat, which is weird because you bring quite a following, you and Chaos Fox. But we got Slot LS now saying that Barney is a loser. Apparently, you didn't mention, or maybe it was Chaos Fox. Somebody didn't mention that the races were starting, and we had a lot of angry people here in the chat.
Listen, I was running late. I had to run the trash cans to the road 1 minute before qualifying
Yeah.
started, so I didn't have time to really warn anyone about it.
Yeah.
I barely had time for myself.
I know that feeling that when you realize that the trash has to go out to the curb, it always dawns on you at seemingly the most unopportune time. All
Yeah,
right.
it's just
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, it's just my parents were like, as soon as I got on, loaded the game up, started yelling my name. I'm like, what? And they said, take the trash out. I was like, shit. Just, I take that word back. Oops. Family
That's
friendly. I'm sorry.
that's all right. I get it. You and Fear are probably in competition to drop as many curse words as you can. I get it. I understand. Always in competition, you two.
Yeah,
Not
you don't want to be
together,
worse
but
than
just
fear.
in general.
Yeah, you just don't want to be worse than fear. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, you say that, and you ended up being worse than Fear. Although 2 fifth-place finishes here in week number 2, not too shabby. But Fear was on it here out at Hockenheimring. He found another gear there in the Crown Vic and was able to finish out in front of you. You just a little bit back behind Chaos, in front of Slipstream. I think Patches Riley was starting to get into the what seemed to be range of being able to challenge for position, but it never panned out. But man, they're at the last couple of laps, especially the end of lap 15. I was like, oh my gosh, we may have ourselves a 4 or 5 car battle here from second all the way back to 6th position. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, there's a big pileup of cars. I think the hairpin's really what does that is when
Yeah.
people either miss the corner and block others or just go like way too early on the brakes. It really likes to compact the cars a good amount.
Yeah. You had a moment there where the Mercedes-Benz grandstand is. They're kind of in the middle of the infield. And you were off into the grass. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to get back on pretty quickly. And then it just didn't look like the Crown Vic wanted to steer at all. It was just, hey, you're going to be a John Deere boat here for a few minutes. But with racing tires, I'm guessing the Crown Vic, you get into the slippery stuff, you're out there for a bit, yeah?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you kind of have to if you lock up the wheels, you're just hoping they're
Yeah.
able to unlock them and be able to start turning.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you lock up the wheels, you're either gonna miss the corner or get really lucky.
Yep. Talking with Enraged Barney here in the driver's spotlight. What we didn't have here tonight, which is unfortunate, is that you and LMP Reina entered week number 2 here, both tied at 92 points. Now, of course, the drop week rule will be in place. So quick maths escapes me at the moment, but whether or not this is better than your week 1 performance, you could be still tied with LMP Reina, just depending on whether or not they get back out on the track. That's a battle I'd love to see return here in week 3.
Yeah, I think we are still tied. I think this week was definitely a lot worse
Yeah.
than last week. But yeah, hopefully I won't do so atrocious next week, and me and Serena will have a good race.
Yeah, actually, I should have known because it's right there on the standings, and that you and Reina both split second and third place finishes there in week number 1. So yes, that would stand as your best week at least through the first 2 here of season 54.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. I'm hoping this will be a drop round because that means I won't do worse any other
Yeah.
week.
Yep.
But yeah, if this is the drop round, everything to come should be better.
Any changes before Prague, Top Gear, the full circuit, the figure 8?
Brake balance maybe or brake percentages. The one thing I was struggling with at Hockenheimring was I kept locking up the tires under any heavy braking, so I might have to mess with the brakes a little bit.
Do you I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question without incriminating you. But any shenanigans in the figure 8?
I mean, I think there's been a gentleman's agreement where
Yeah.
even if you see someone coming, full send the entire way. So if you don't full send, then you're boring.
Yeah. That
Takes away
that
content.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually a little bit sad that that's not the finale. Can we, you know what? I never lead petitions. But this one seems worth petitioning to do 60 laps or whatever it would be for Top Gear Test Track as the finale.
As much as I love the idea, there's no pit lane, so I don't think Slow will ever agree. Plus, Slow is set on Bernese Alps, so
Yeah, he's a masochist. Crazy. All right, Barney, any shout outs here tonight?
shout outs to Slottles and Boots for coming to watch me. And I guess shout out to Slip for making it a fun race.
Slottles. I got it. Not Slot LS.
Slottles.
I should have
Yeah,
known.
yeah.
You just bring the consonants together and let it go. Slottles.
You just gotta guess with it.
I've always been bad at the Twitch username pronunciation, but so we'll let that continue on. That's the tradition. All right, yeah, Barney, always great chatting with you. I feel like still a great race. Two P5 finishes for me a season ago was awesome. Obviously compared to your week number 1 where you had a second and third place, not so hot, but now a chance to turn that around in week number 3. We'll see you then.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right, there's Barney, and now let's go ahead and bring in the 4-time victor here in season 54. We've got LS Subaru. Subaru, the rain didn't fall, so that didn't have any effect on the race. Really, we didn't seem to have any back markers either. I think everybody was able to stay out of pit lane. So once again, for the umpteenth time, millionth time, you were just out there cruising, sightseeing around Hockenheim.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race today.
Was pretty good. I don't know. Everybody looked very, very composed, but is there any part of that track that phases you, that keeps you on your toes?
Just the hairpin after the straight. Just trying to make sure that I get the braking right for that one. Other than that, I'm pretty okay for the rest of this for the rest of the circuit.
For those of you unaware, LS Subaru has a challenge and has had these challenges for the last season or two, where you go into each season with just one single setup, one single tune. That's just the way you're going to have it for the entirety, all 9 races, and you don't do any practice. So, how did the tune hold up here in week 2?
Pretty good actually. The Dubai one was a little bit sketchy because the suspension feel was a bit too soft. The springs and the dampers together were a bit too soft. But at Hockenheim, because it's such a flat circuit, it was pretty good. Had no real complaints really.
Okay, well, we'll see how that holds up as you head into Prague, which I was telling the chat, out of all the fictional tracks that have made a presence here in Forza Motorsport, Prague is actually probably one of my favorites. How about you?
Probably Mount Panorama.
That's not a fictional track.
Oh, you said fictional second. Yeah, my bad. Gee, I don't really know.
Well, I'm just saying, is Prague up the list pretty high for you in terms of favorites, or are you not a fan?
Well, I mean, I like the circuit. It's different. It's unique.
Yeah.
But I'm probably not a very good person to ask these sorts of questions because I like every circuit.
Ah,
Yeah, I don't really have like a circuit that I'm like, I absolutely despise this circuit. Get rid of it. So yeah, if the circuit's not there, that's too bad. If it is there, cool. Can't wait to use it. Besides, I mean, I'm in the camp of people that I would rather have 20 circuits that all have dynamic time of day and dynamic weather rather than 30 circuits where only some of them get access to that.
okay.
Yeah, because that's that goes part with the whole quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Since that all of these all 20 of the circuits are going to be completely reworked, built from the ground up, as they say. So,
From the ground up.
so yeah, it'll be fun to race some of the circuits that we've seen from previous Forza games, but with a fresh look and fresh physics, and some of them we'll be able to experience for the first time at night or in the wet.
I'm gonna, yeah, time change on all tracks, weather conditions on all tracks. That is the plus side of getting informed that some of these tracks that we've become fond of or used to or have an affinity for in the Forza Motorsport franchise, some of those are going away, at least tentatively. Maybe some of them will come back eventually after launch, but I guess the plus side is we'll have that many more, I guess, configurations thanks to time of day and weather and everything. So we'll see how that goes. We'll also see how this stream goes moving forward because I too am thinking about building it from the ground up. So I'll have to scrap everything and start anew. That's just the way it works. No, I'm not doing that. There's no way. There's no way. But yeah, that has become a funny little meme within the Forza community. And I think everybody means well by it. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are skeptic about the term, but from the ground up has been a fun one to see play out over the last few months. All right, Subaru, you got 4 wins. If you get the sweep here in season 54, I think that'll just be your second golden broom, right? To add to the mantle?
Uh, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, I got to get to the end of the season first for
Yeah.
that to happen.
Yep. Okay. He's a man of all tracks, loves them all, and takes each race at a time. LS Subaru, any shout outs tonight? Or for you today?
Same people. Well, just the same people as always. My team, FM4 for organizing, for keeping this series running.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that shows up. It's always nice to have people to race against. And shout out to Slow for making my livery.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I told y'all, even LS Subaru needs a little help from his friends here in FM4 with livery making. So when I say it, I'm not lying. I'm not making it up when I tell you that you got people who can help you out, get your vehicle where you want it to be, both tuning wise, both livery wise. It's there. Reddit.com/r/FM4. LS Subaru, awesome job. As always, we'll see you next week.
Lay.
And like a phantom in the night, he is gone. All right, let's go ahead and bring into the driver's spotlight SGR Chaos Fox. Chaos Fox, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. Long time no talk. Great to see you back in the Forza Spec series here with season 54. Is this your send off? It has to be, right? Like after this, there's no more need for Forza Motorsport 7, huh?
I'm juggling this with because Tora's doing one last
Yeah.
weekly
Yep.
bi-weekly series. They're running Improved Production Car Championship, and that's been like a big deal over in Tora. So like I'm bouncing back and forth to these because one started, and then I saw that we're using the Crown Vic for the send-off season for RFM4, and I'm like, I'm doing both. I've been wanting a Crown Vic season for since I joined
Yeah.
RFM4.
You got it.
It took geez, I joined early 2019, so yeah, I took 4 years.
Yeah. Well, hey, there you go. Did you vote in the voting, or was this before you knew that they had the Crown Vic even a thought for season 54, or did you get word that they were doing a vote for it and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be voting the heck out of that thing."
I saw the votes and I saw the choices. I saw the Crown Vic. I'm like, oh, that's it. I voted for the
Sold.
Crown Vic. I was not expecting the Crown Vic to win,
Yeah.
to be honest. And when I saw it won, I was like the first one to sign up.
There you go. Nice. I don't mean to bring up, the bad past of week number 1, but getting 2 fourth place finishes here in week number 2, do you feel like it's a little bit of a redemption for the unfortunate disconnect of week 1?
Yes, no, definitely. Dubai is definitely like not my strong track. I mean, I spent like, geez, almost 2 hours just hot lapping the track because like I just have no time around the track.
Yeah.
It's never been a favorite of mine. Uh, I mean, I did goof. I don't know if it was caught on screen or not, but I did goof in the chicane a couple times. But if I would have held my own better going through the chicane, I think I probably would have given Audrex a much better race. But he got the better of me.
Oh, we saw you. Almost
Oh
looked like
boy.
you were going head first, but they must have been just glancing blows because you suffered no damage. You were able to stay out there. But we saw at least 2 of those nice encounters with the donut wall.
Basically, I was overdriving the car because when
Yeah.
Audrix got by me, I was catching up. I knew I could catch him, and I just drove the car a little bit too aggressively, and that chicane was my big weak point on the whole track to begin with, and I just went in too hot. And if those tires were not there, I probably would have not finished fourth.
Yep. Well, definitely moving up on the overall leaderboard going into week number 3. Now, of course, Enraged Barney, who we talked with just a moment ago, their week number 2 wasn't as good as week number 1, so Enraged Barney will likely stay in the 2 or 3 spot with the 92 points. But Chaos Fox definitely closing in on that. The one driver who you had a shot or might have had a shot getting around out at Hockenheimring was Fear the Fun, who kept trending backward. You just ran out of laps. How many more laps would you have liked to had to get around Fear there?
Honestly, 2 more laps, I would have had him.
Yeah.
There was an incident in the later half of the track where 2 tires just grabbed the grass and the car did not want to come back
Yeah.
onto the track. Like I was in the grass for quite a bit. Barney caught right back up to me, but I was able to hold him off. But if I didn't have that off, I might have been P3, but I'll take P4. I'll take consistency.
Yeah. Well, you got a shot next week with Prague, followed by the Top Gear test track, which it could be a toss-up, right? Like anything can happen out there, especially if there's this gentleman's agreement that I'm hearing that says that you got to kind of be full send in the figure 8 section. That just let it happen. Who knows? Who knows how things will pan out next week?
I'm actually looking forward to Top Gear.
I am too.
It's a fun track,
Yeah.
and I weirdly have good pace there. When we did test and tune night, I might have really dominated that race. So I'm kind of going in really confident with to that track. Prague is going to be, I feel like Prague is going to be like Dubai because that's another track that I struggle with. But who knows? It'll probably be like decent race, and then Top Gear, I'm really, really confident.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that one. I've hosted quite a few races out at the Top Gear test track and I told the drivers that, hey, at the intersection, it's fair game. Anything can happen there. On the outer loops, keep it kind and cordial and safe and all that. But hey, if two cars are trying to occupy the same spot at the intersection, well then that's just the way it is. So if you watched tonight's racing and you thought tonight was exciting, just wait till next Tuesday, not Wednesday, but next Tuesday. It's gonna be a whole heck of a lot of fun. All right, Chaos Fox. Any shout outs here tonight? You had some folks here in the pit lane, the chat, cheering you on.
Yeah, I know I had some friends cheering me on. I didn't have the stream up, but whoever you guys were in chat, thank you. Uh, and also, who else do I want to shout out? Wow, my mind's drawn a complete blank. Yay.
You got a team that you're racing with the Taurus stuff, or is that all individual?
No, to tour stuff, I'm individual too.
Yeah.
SGR's been kind of running low with the Forza stuff. I've been just marching on alone, doing it myself since I still like doing it. But
Well, I'll throw one name out there. They asked, or they gave me the pronunciation so that I could say this correctly. Alethea was here and was
Yes.
cheering you on.
Yes, she is a good friend of mine. So yes,
There you go.
she got wind of what I was going to be doing tonight, and I tossed her a link and said,
Very
"Hey, if you
cool.
want to watch me race."
I do appreciate it. And then I think maybe the Mighty Cod as well.
Yes, that's another. He's another friend of mine. Yep.
Nice. I definitely love it when drivers bring their fan base, their friends, their family, even folks that maybe they compete closely with in Forza but don't necessarily like consider a friend. They're just like, hey, come watch my race or whatever, and people do. So absolutely love that you do that. And you mentioned your stream, so just for the people who are watching here at the end of this broadcast, what you got going on in upcoming streams, and what days might folks find you on there? On here on Twitch, I should say.
Most of the time, I'm streaming anywhere from 4 to 3 days a week. Tuesdays, I've been taking off because the races that have been going on. But if you want to catch my channel tomorrow, I have plans. I'm jumping back, long overdue, to finish my playthrough of Driver San Francisco.
Oh,
Thursday, I'm going to be doing my usual Forza Horizon 5 weeklies. I do them every Thursday. And Friday, I'm going to be back on Need for Speed Unbound for more online multiplayer shenanigans because all heck breaks loose over there.
Very cool, very cool. Man, I've been wanting to I actually haven't ever played Driver San Francisco. I've been wanting to go back to the original 2 on the PlayStation, but I just haven't made it happen yet. But man, San Francisco I know is like one of the cult following cult classics because it maybe wasn't regarded as one of the best ones when it released, but now I think it's so hard to find, and people are like,
Yes.
well, you know what? It wasn't that bad of a game. And so now you got people like trying to track the game down to buy it because I don't think it's available digitally. If you want it, because it's got licensed vehicles, they had to discontinue its digital sales. You got to find yourself a hard copy or emulation.
Yes. It's a big deal. Like you talk to circles on the internet that love this game. I lucked out and bought the game digitally when the game was just a couple, maybe just a year or two old.
Yeah.
Back on the 360.
Uh-huh.
I bought it digitally, and that's why I still have access to it. Thank goodness. And it is reverse compatible if you have like a Series X or an Xbox One, whatever. If you have a means to play it, it will play on the older consoles or a newer console. But it's fantastic. It's the story is a lot of fun. It gets super cheesy, but it's over the top. But it's not. It's fun. By the end game of the story, it doesn't take itself seriously. I think that's what makes it so fun.
Uh-huh.
And another fun thing, and this is probably why people love it so much, is the car license list. It's just, you look at like Forza, you look at Need for Speed, and it's like all the typical kinds of cars that people expect, whether Japanese, Italian, American, whatever. What I love about Drive San Francisco is all these regular economy cars or commuter cars or whatever. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to see another game where I could drive a 2006 Chevy Impala
Yeah.
or a 2010 Cadillac DTS. Like, you're never going to see cars like that licensed again, and it's a shame
Wow.
for a game like that.
Yeah.
And if you can find a copy, Dustin, absolutely, you will love it.
Yeah.
Um,
I I've scoured eBay and I think they've got it around like $30 or something, and I'm like, okay, that seems a little high. So I don't know. It may not ever go down, but I watch from time to time.
I will say this: if you can find a copy for $30 that's playable,
Yeah,
that's a steal.
that's a
Because
steal.
some people have been trying to get more of it. I will say this: it's a hard copy is the best bet because if you try to get a digital key, that's where it gets kind of sketchy.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I don't recommend it. But
yeah.
the car list alone, because another thing to bring up the car list, because this was still in the era of when EA still had the rights to Porsche.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's a good handful of like
Roofs, yeah.
Porsches in there. Oh, it's great. Good
Nice.
car list. The handling physics are wonderful. It's a good mix of like more arcadey than sim, but so much to do. Replay value is through the charts. There's so much fun dialogue. You just jump in random cars. So much. You never hear the same thing twice. There's a reason why it's a cult favorite. If you can find a copy, Dustin, and play it on your channel, you're gonna have a blast.
All right. Well, you motivated me, so I gotta try to sort this out. But man, I love it. I love it when games. We know it happens in other forms of entertainment, movie, books, comics, and all that. But I love it in games when like a game releases. There's very little fanfare. It just kind of goes under the radar, and then give it 5, 10 years. And for whatever reason, in this case, because it's a car game and their licenses, it becomes harder to find, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, dude, do you have this? And it's always fun to hear the stories like you just shared of, hey, you just bought it digitally on the Xbox 360, probably never thought anything of it, it was in your library, boom, there you go. For the rest of us who never took advantage of that, we're like, damn, now we gotta find a copy. So fun stuff. Always great stories. Catch Chaos Fox. You are now known as Chaos Fox CR2 on Twitch. I know that may have changed over the last year for anybody who maybe was following you and then lost sight. But Chaos Fox CR2, and actually there's the link in the broadcast. Chaos Fox, like I said, great to have you back here for season 54. It was awesome seeing you out there in the top 5 here in week number 2, and looking forward to seeing how you perform there at Prague and Top Gear in week 3.
Yeah, looking forward to next week.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Catch you later.
Yep. All right. Oh, we've got another one. All right. Slow Motion Fire has joined the driver spotlight. And so Slow Motion Fire, I'm halfway through writing this petition to have the Top Gear test track as the finale.
If there was a pit lane, we might consider it.
Oh, we don't. Let's just let Carnage be Carnage. There's no pit lane. Just let's last man. You know what? Make it a Forza Spec Racing Series first. Last car standing is the winner. It's just whoever is able to cross the line, putt across the line, what we perceive to be the lap, then just boom, there you go. There's your race winner.
You'd make Fear happy doing that, because I've been telling him for the last couple seasons that no matter what, we're gonna run Bernice Alps as the Enduro, because we
Ugh.
have not done that yet. That's
Ugh.
the one track with a pit road in that we have not run the Enduro at. So
Couldn't
in
you
the
take
finale
a
season, the farewell season, it's happening. I'm checking it off the box.
Couldn't you
Don't care
take
what
a
anybody
hint?
says.
The reason Turn 10 is getting rid of it is because it's not that good.
Which means we have to run it now, or else then we'll lose it. It'll be gone.
You're
Race
right.
it while we got it.
You're right. We'll run it now. We'll run it week 3, race 5 of the race 6 of the season, and we'll just get it out of the way next week.
Oh, we're out there at the short track. We got the left-hander after the downhill. It'll be a fun race.
All right, fair enough. Fine. Solo Motion Fire, you finished, I believe, sixth out there at Dubai, and it looks like maybe eighth out here at the Hockenheim ring to close things out tonight. So I don't know. Knowing how well you did last year when I was racing in FM4, I'm gonna call that a so-so week for you.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this car. It's not that the handling is bad or anything. I just do not have pace in it, so I got to get something figured out here.
Hmm.
Race one, I kind of got into no man's land as Barney had some damage, so I was chasing him down, but it was too little, too late. Race two at Hockenheim ring there, Kuda and myself had a good battle for pretty much the entire race,
Hmm.
and we started to reel in Patches. If we had a couple more laps, we would have had a 3-car battle there for seventh with Patches, Kuda, and myself.
Yeah, this is. I mean, apart from a couple of cars that have drivers who have, kind of been the scragglers, and again, they're running their own race. They're getting their skill level up. So over time, they'll continue to do better and better. But today was one of those odd situations where we didn't have a mid pack. We had LS Subaru and then pretty much everybody else, and then one or two cars struggling, especially out there at Dubai, where a couple of vehicles had to go into pit lane. But really, from second on back to sixth, and then like you had said, the battle between you and Kuda for seventh was really strong. I hope we get more of that here through the remainder of season 54. No mid pack, just everybody except for one or two cars at the front and the back.
Yeah, we had a couple drivers that couldn't make it tonight, so hopefully
Yeah,
next week we got a few more drivers out there. That makes a big difference
it
when you go
does.
from 16 cars to 10 cars. It's real easy to get kind of those little groups forming and not necessarily have a bunch of people racing for position.
Yeah. Yep. I hope they do. I mean, Reina, who was in the top three there, entering week number 2, tied with Enraged Barney at 92 points. Hopefully, Reina is able to make it back. I know, who else was it that we didn't see out there tonight? Dino Dado, who had a great appearance in the Forza Spec Racing Series. 70 points to Dino's name, unable to be out there tonight. Celtic Warrior,
We're
DeBronham,
missing DeBranham.
T-Phrase
Yeah.
even. T-Phrase.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm on a rant. I'm just calling out all the names of the people who weren't here tonight. You're derelict in your duty as a racer in the Forza Spec series.
Yes, shame them back into racing.
Or just chase them away altogether. One or the other. No, that's
Well,
not what
they're
it's about.
already gone. So.
Yeah, no, and for anybody who might still be watching either live or on demand, of course, if you've got other things going on, but you still want to be a part of FM4, you're definitely encouraged to do so. It's completely understandable. Life things always come first, and then what racing you can get in is fantastic.
Yeah, we've got the drop
Mhm.
reasons, so
Yep, the drop.
you don't have to make every week on the schedule to still be competitive.
Exactly. The only caveat to that is once things get going for FM4 in the new Forza Motorsport title, of course, there will only be so many lobby spots. And I assure you, when I joined FM4 as the broadcaster here, you guys were filling up lobbies from time to time, and this was still 3-4 years after the game had launched. So just as a little bit of a caveat to that, is that once the new title has come out and FM4 starts back up in that series, do know that there may very well be people chomping at the bit to get into the lobby and on the grid. So it may make it a little bit more difficult to be gone one week and in the race the next if you've got people who are consistently there. So if you're curious
Gotta
about your
work on that.
situation and your availability as it relates to FM4, always, probably first thing first, reach out to Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, Modern Weapon, and just let them know. And I'm sure you guys can kind of work around it as best as you can. Yeah.
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 And you got to work on that sales pitch a little bit there, Dustin. It sounded like we had full lobbies until you joined.
No, I was saying when I joined, this was still the game release. I mean, the game was still like
The
3-4
lobbies
years
were
old.
full, and then now we got half.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, the game just continued to be the latest Forza game 5, 6, 7 years later, and it's like, okay, everybody's done.
Nope, that's not what I was hearing.
Hey, if I'm converting them to viewers, that's all that matters for me. If they're going from racer to viewer, I'm good. No, I'm kidding. Everybody, if you have any interest whatsoever in racing in FM4, you most certainly should do that. And you can be a viewer too. You can watch the video back on demand. You can have it going on the side in between the races if you want to hear the interviews and all that stuff. So be a racer and a viewer. You could do it. I promise. All right, Soul Motion Fire. Any shout outs here this evening?
Well, I'm just gonna say it looks like I just kind of snuck in these races on the skin of my teeth here, because as soon as the last race ended, my TV started fading out darker
no.
and darker and darker, and now I have no pictures. So
Where's the mallet?
might
Just
be-
whack it with the
I
mallet.
might be TV shopping here, and it happened with just enough time there to get the race in.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's not an AMD graphics card TV.
No, it's a rather ancient TV.
You and Fear the Fun will be in the same boat there.
Yeah, he's been harassing me about my old ass TV, so he'll be happy to hear that it died.
Well, hopefully with the new Forza title, it'll be much more compatible with different systems. I know they've Forza Motorsport 7, for those of you who just don't have a grasp for how long this game has been out, is actually the only full release for PC. Forza Motorsport 6 did come out on PC as an Apex version, which is an abridged version. So hopefully with the new Forza Motorsport title, they will have worked out some of the nuance of PC gaming and make issues like what Fear the Fun experienced a non-factor. Of course, having a TV that doesn't work has absolutely nothing to do with that. So end of that commentary. All right, so good stuff tonight. Yes, I do put the call out to those viewers who were here in week number 1. Please make it back out if you can. We love seeing the track filled up with as much traffic as possible. And then of course the Top Gear test track. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So much fire. Good stuff. We'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good for the broadcast, Dustin. We'll catch you next week.
Betcha. Thank you. All right, y'all. There we go. We've come to the end of our broadcast here for tonight. Just as a reminder, there you go. There's a look at the weeks ahead, to include next Tuesday, September the 12th, Prague, Top Gear, followed by Sebring, Rio de Janeiro, Bernese Alps. It's the farewell tour to Forza Motorsport 7 and the tracks that are not making it into the launch of the new Forza Motorsport. It's been a lot of fun. The view count, the viewership, engagement, the emotes dancing in the chat during the intermissions, all great fun. Love seeing it. And I will be live coming up here on Friday. We're going to jump into some retro gaming, as you can see. So we're going to go back in time, play some oldies but goodies here on the broadcast. Then on Sunday, Weekend Haulin', 9 a.m. with American Truck Simulator. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on X Adventure, it is the Forza Spec Racing Series Week 3, the official midpoint of Season 54. Appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the subscriptions. Ghibli, thank you for the cheer bits. Thank you all around. Y'all take care. Have a great rest of the week. Be happy, be healthy, be kind to one another. Goodbye.